Hello and welcome to another Here's the Storm Quick Tip. Today I wanted to talk about maximizing your advantage when you get a team wipe, also known as how to snowball a game or get back into a game you're losing. So in this case, this was a scrim we did with our NGS in-houses, and so we had just gotten wiped fighting for bot Punisher. As you can see, we have a pretty healthy XP lead, uh, mostly from better minions and mercs up till now, but also because we took forts so early, our passive XP has really added up, whereas they just got a fort finally. And so that's kind of where we got that lead from. And so what they're doing now is because they got what was essentially a team wipe, instead of pushing with a Punisher and letting, like, essentially is trying to get this keep, which was kind of unlikely for them because their team comp is really good at taking, like, point control fights, but less good at this kind of, like, extended siege. Um, and also potentially giving us a free fight at 20 where they'd be forced to, like, try and run away. Even if they get this keep, like, if they get wiped here, then we potentially just like walk and go end the game. Instead, what they're doing now is they're pushing every single lane out. And so what's happening is like they go and take our camp, which is up, and they're just shoving huge wave, sending Hogger top to shove wave and take this fort out, which is already low, and then go for bot camp to get that wave. So they want pressure in all three lanes, and we essentially have to respond to this. But look how much XP they've already made up for. And what you can see here is the Chromie didn't expect us to be so aggressive. You see, I just ran directly through the camps, and I was like, hey, let's just kill them. And actually, it was Mokri, I think, that was like, hey, just go get him. Go run past and go get him if you can. And yeah, I just ran through. She stopped a Q, and that just set up the blessed. But look how much pressure they've set up. And so we say, hey, we're just going to kill this keep and try and end. Unfortunately for us, we don't really have the siege damage to do that, and this ends up not working. But what happens in the meantime is you can see their initial plan, assuming they don't lose two people mid, is pretty effective in general. I'm sorry I denied you seeing that bunny hop get value. You can watch Fane get run down there. But yeah. And like, so we end up clearing this up, but ultimately what happened was, had it been successful, they probably would get into, we would have cleared all this up. We would have lost mid, probably still. At some point they could have just double backed and taken it. But the important thing is, they would have made up the 20 difference without much risk. And they essentially made up a level and a half by just, instead of just focusing down one structure in one lane, getting the XP in all three lanes and taking the camps and pushing. And that's the whole thing. They took camps, but it was for a reason, because it went uncontested. And so when we made this play for keep, even had we just taken the keep and immediately backed off, they were still getting value out of these camps before we cleared them. And so that's what I want people to recognize is like, you're not just taking camps in this situation just to take them. You're taking them because, one, you want to minimize the XP gap, but also because you're getting actual pressure out of them. And so if you focus on that when you're trying to make up for an edge somewhere, versus, say, setting up in a bush and looking for a pick, or like, say they had gotten this huge wave and then they crowded in here and looked for a pick like on or behind fort. You know, that's another option they had. But by doing this, they maximize their XP. And so it's something you want to keep an eye on. And it's the same thing if they were the ones in that had a lead. Essentially, by getting everything pushing in every lane, that's free. And then they can choose how they want to engage the enemy team if the positions were reversed, essentially. And then they have the perfect opportunity to try and pick a fight and punish us if we're trying to look for 20 at that point. So just something to keep in mind, and I hope that helped. Have a good day.